morning is 7:04 on this Tuesday, October 7th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company. Our guest host today, Dr. Paul Stum.
Good morning, MJ, and good morning all out there in radio land. It's great to be with you this morning, filling in for Coleman Walker, who's on special assignment. I want to just take 1 second as we begin to say a special happy birthday to a dear friend and a lady who is always an avid listener of this show, Miss Ann Floyd. Ann Floyd's birthday is today, and I'm not sure how young she is today, but she is a wonderful lady in this community, and we all want to wish Ann Floyd a happy birthday. I'm fortunate this morning to have two wonderful guests with us, as we usually do this time on Tuesday mornings, and Miss Tracy Pope is with us. And Tracy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dr. Stum.
I want to also thank you so much, Tracy, for you and your husband, John, chairing the Phoenix Ball next year at Cumberland University. I'm so happy that you all are doing that. And I also want to thank you for everything that Vanderbilt, your organization, does in support of Cumberland, most notably, perhaps, the recent Notes for Nurses event, which you and your guest today were particularly important in. Do you want to introduce the guest you have with us today?
Yes, well, I'll back up a little bit, and it truly is our honor, John and I, to support Cumberland in this way with the upcoming 2026 Phoenix Ball. We have a rich history with Cumberland. John's an alum, and his parents have both worked there for many, many years. And
Monty and Pace are so wonderful, too.
They are. And Pace is so excited. She's going to be attending next year, and we're just really excited to see what the ball looks like and how it comes together. And yes, like you said, 2 times a month on Tuesdays at 7 a.m. The show is brought to you by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. We've been an avid supporter of the radio station way before my years at the hospital, and we're excited to have Shelby Isbell with us this morning.
How many years have you been at the hospital, by the way?
I have been at the hospital for 10 years, and we've been part of the Vanderbilt health system for 6. So I cannot believe that it's been Vanderbilt for 6 years.
So you were there before it was actually Vanderbilt, and then you moved with you'd made the transition along with a lot of others when Vanderbilt took over.
I worked for a general surgeon on and off for a bunch of years.
I remember that.
And
he's a fine person, too.
Yes, Dr. Jimmy Morris. And when he retired, I went to the hospital, and we transitioned 3 names since I've been there. So I've been there long enough to have 3 names of a hospital. But now we're Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and it's been an incredible ride, and I can't wait to see what else we're going to accomplish.
Well, thank you for all you all do in the community. We're going to hear a little bit about that this morning, starting with Shelby Isbell. And Shelby, good morning to you. Tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you from, and where'd you grow up?
Good morning, Dr. Stum. So I'm actually from here. I was born in this hospital in Lebanon.
Were you really? You were born in the hospital that you now work in?
Yes, I'm actually a 3rd-generation employee of that hospital. Both my parents and my grandmother worked there.
Wow.
As well.
Got a long legacy there.
Long legacy. I grew up
now, was it actually
suite.
McFarland when you were, or did you actually work in the place? I mean, were you born?
No, Dr. Stum, she's not that old. She's young.
Well, but the hospital, I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but that hospital is really pretty young.
It was built in 1979, so she had not been born
So
yet.
you easily would have been born there. I thought it was even younger than that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my grandmother actually worked in Central Sterile for like 30 years, and so she actually used to work at McFarland. And then she made the transition over to the main campus. But she always comments whenever, on the day I was born, the OR flooded. And that's how she remembers my birthday.
Did it really?
It did.
Wow.
and so she always comments on that. That's one comment she always makes whenever we were talking about my birthday. So.
And when is your birthday, Shelby?
June 19th, actually.
June 19th. I think one of my grandchildren has a birthday on that day. I'm really not sure, but Christy will be mad at me for not being able to keep up with us. But yeah, that's a great day. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you were actually, by the way, I have just an interesting data point that I learned the other day. Do you know who the first U.S. president to be born in a hospital was?
Who?
Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was the very first president. Prior to Jimmy Carter, no presidents, U.S. presidents, had been born. They're all born at home, as we all used to be, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe your grandmother was even born, I don't know. Was she born at one of the hospitals here?
I'm actually, no, she's from Kentucky. So.
She's from Kentucky, okay. Mm-hmm. All right, well, tell us about where you went to school. Where did you go? Did you go to high school here in Lebanon?
Yes, actually, I grew up going here from Tucker's Crossroads I went to Friendship Christian. for high school, and then I went to Tennessee Tech and got my bachelor's, graduating in, I believe, 13. And then started.
I've heard of that little school a little bit east of here.
Yeah, a little school east of here. And so I went there for my bachelor's in science nursing, and then I ended up coming to UMC at the time to work as a new grad nurse. And then I slowly worked my way up to charge nurse, and then became a clinical coordinator. I actually was over the detox program that we had for about a year and a half. And then I came back and did the clinical coordinator position, and then I actually transitioned over to my first leadership assignment was actually the COVID unit in 2020.
Wow, that's got to be hard.
It was a wild ride those 2 years, I have to say, and I also made the decision before COVID actually hit in February of 2020. I actually went back to school for my master's, and I graduated.
And where did you do that?
I did that at Cumberland University.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
good.
I got my master's in executive leadership in nursing, and so I graduated with that in, I believe, 2021.
Right,
And
also kind of in the middle of COVID.
in the middle of COVID,
I went to your master's degree.
I had my
during
first
COVID.
leadership assignment, and I then took over the step down and telemetry department, and then opened the EMU, all while going to school for my master's.
You know, we all can reflect back on how difficult those times were during COVID, and I'm sure particularly in the hospital environment, it was difficult. I remember reading stories and talking to people about the burnout that you folks in healthcare were experiencing because you were having to work not only longer shifts but in arduous conditions, and you probably had to deal with that too. Did you have employees that just couldn't manage through that?
We, so I would say honestly, I cannot speak enough of the staff. Again, it was my first leadership assignment, so I was learning. Now, I had a lot of people that actually led with me in terms of like guidance. From more experienced directors, but I have to say the staff that I worked with were exceptional, and we did a lot of things to make sure that they had that balance. We had a Zen Den on the One West unit where they could go and decompress. There was nothing nursing in that room. We made sure that they were taking breaks. You know, COVID was a troubling time because it's like we were trying to move all in one direction at the same time. And so it was definitely a difficult time, but it made all of us stronger.
And we were very fortunate to be part of the Vanderbilt health system at the time. Absolutely. We had just been Vanderbilt for about 6 months, and through their leadership, it was an incredible time and lots of opportunity. And we have learned a lot from being through something like that. But why don't you tell us about things going on with your tenure at Vanderbilt?
Yeah, so I've been at Vanderbilt for almost 12 years. And so during that time...
so now let me just clarify that. You've been at Vanderbilt for 12 years. But
I've been at the Lebanon Vanderbilt
Wilson. Which is now Vanderbilt.
Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to make sure.
Like Tracy said, it changed three names during the time. But I've been... we're actually still, though, Vanderbilt was great enough. We got to keep our tenure and stuff, so we got to keep our years of service.
Really?
Yeah, when we bought.
That's magnificent. I did not know that.
And so I've been a Vanderbilt employee for almost 12 years. In February, it'll be 12. And so during that time, like I said, I got into leadership, and then I have opened new service lines for the hospital, for the community. You know, it's something I'm very passionate about. I spoke with that, with the Notes for Nurses.
Yeah, I don't know if I said this, but Shelby, you were such a magnificent speaker at our Notes for Nurses event. You were one of three, and just all three of you all really knocked it out of the park. But we're grateful for what you did as a part of that important fundraiser for Cumberland. You're one of your alma maters.
Of course.
But tell us a little bit about what you shared there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So my biggest thing, it was not hard to speak on two things that I'm extremely passionate about, which is community and nursing. And so having, an institution of knowledge here in our town is something that a lot of people actually aren't gifted. Especially great education. And I can speak to that because I actually graduated from there with my master's, and they were exceptional during the program. And then also our hospital has taken so many moves and invested so much into the community. And so everybody that works there has a heart for the people. And so it wasn't hard for me to speak at Notes for Nurses because nursing and community, they're so intertwined that it was so easy for me to establish that love and that knowledge to the people.
And you have still a pretty big family here in the Middle Tennessee area. Is Ian Isbell your
My brother? Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I have recently met Ian, and what a fine young man he is. He is. He's a realtor, and also, in fact, it's really funny. I have one of my employees was telling me about Ian Isbell because he also chairs the chamber now, doesn't he? For Mount Juliet?
No, for Lebanon.
I mean, for Lebanon. I mean, but he. A friend of mine told me that the reason I brought up Mount Juliet, a friend of mine who lives in Mount Juliet was telling me he had met Ian Isbell at the chamber here, and he said, yeah, Ian sold my house in Mount Juliet and helped me buy my house here in Lebanon, and so he's doing good things. And you have other siblings?
No, I just have my brother, and Ian is an exceptional human being, and I can't say enough about him. I'm very blessed as his sister.
And what about Pat Isbell?
That's our dad.
That's your dad. Okay.
Correct,
okay. Well,
yes.
I've met your dad too, and he's a fine man as well.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, good. Well, we are right at time to go for a break. So you're listening to WANT FM 98.9.
Thanks, Paul. Let's go ahead and see what's happening on the roadways. And it's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. High performance, high horsepower. 0% financing is still a thing. Now's the best time to save on new Kubota L-Series tractors. Rated #1 for durability and owner experience in the U.S. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a mess out here in Rutherford County. They're still working with this truck crash, and it's got traffic tied up pretty good on 24 westbound at Shelbyville Highway 231. Again, it was just at a standstill, actually, on 24 westbound at Joby Jackson. They're working feverishly trying to get this back open, but what a mess in Rutherford County. And we got rain to deal with out here in parts of Middle Tennessee. Give yourself extra time. You're going to need it this morning. Hey, when you need dependable towing for your car or truck, call STR Towing and Recovery in Middle Tennessee. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
And now, a moment of silence to remember our dear friend.
Sorry. Oh, man. Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. With a wide range of air conditioners, furnaces, and heat pumps, Rheem makes it easy to feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Everyday Fiestas offers party rentals on everything you need for your special event. Birthdays, weddings, corporate events, they have you covered. Tables, chairs, tents, linens, dance floor, and so much more. Visit their new showroom in Lebanon at 713 East Main Street in the old Ferguson's building. Find them every day at fiestas.com or on Facebook. Everyday Fiestas offers party rentals that can transform your vision into a beautiful reality. Mention this ad to receive 10% off.
And welcome back. It's Paul Stum this morning filling in for Coleman Walker, who's on special assignment. And during the break, I learned that Miss Ann Floyd, whose birthday is today, and we're celebrating, I think the whole community should celebrate Ann Floyd's birthday. She is just such a magnificent lady. But today, she turns 97 years old.
Wow. Congratulations, Miss Floyd. Happy
3
birthday.
years from now, she'll be 100. And then we can't wait for that wonderful event. But happy birthday, Miss Ann. We're going back now to Shelby Isbell. Shelby Isbell works for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, who is the sponsor of today's show. And I want to begin by asking a question. Tracy Pope kind of coached me during the break. She said, Paul, why didn't you ask the first question I had on the page?
Coleman, you're giving away our secrets. Don't do that. Don't do that. We just want to know more about Shelby's position as Director of Specialty Services and then your involvement at the hospital through the committees that you serve on.
Okay. Yes, so I am the Director of Specialty Services. That's just a fancy title for a lot of units, so I don't have to list all of them on my badge.
How many units is it?
I believe there are 8 total departments.
8 departments that you have responsibility
or service lines. So I run the One West, which is our palliative end-of-life care unit. And I run the epilepsy monitoring unit, the nursing side, and the EEG side. I run the telemetry department, the dialysis liaison position, One East, which is our overflow observation, and the Sleep Center over in 1616. That's an outpatient service. And then I also run the inpatient and outpatient EEG departments.
So some of those facilities, like the Sleep Center, that's not even in the main building, is it? Isn't that in a separate building?
It is. It's over at 1616.
And so, but you have an office, I guess, in the main hospital building?
Correct. I have all kinds of different disciplinaries underneath me. I have the nursing staff, licensed and non-licensed, and then I have polysomnographers. I have EEG technicians. I have monitor technicians.
How many total people report through you, Shelby? Do you know?
With dialysis contracts and everything, I believe it's 130 something.
130 people. That keeps you on the move all the time.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I love it. I love the challenge. Like I said, my first leadership assignment was the COVID unit, and I like to be challenged, and I like to offer new service lines for the community. And so that's just been my passion, is I want us to get what we can get here instead of, going other places.
And we can do more and more here now, can
absolutely.
we not?
Shelby is an incredible leader at the hospital. I mean, she is involved in so much, but I know that she doesn't do it alone. She has lots of support and clinical coordinators that help her lead those many departments. And that really is what I have been able to witness through Vanderbilt and their leadership, is that giving our leadership team and our clinical staff the support that they need to do the job well and to really have patient safety and quality as their number one priority.
Yeah, it's exceptional. We have a lot of committees at the hospital that actually help us to improve our quality and safety. One of them being, I'm over the falls prevention committee.
And that's an important thing in a hospital, particularly as you deal with older folks like me.
It is, absolutely. And so, promoting an environment and a culture of safety is something that we have a huge emphasis on at Vanderbilt Wilson and Vanderbilt in total. We have our Making Safety Personal initiative where, we have education objectives for our staff to be like, hey, these are refreshers, keep the patient safe. And so we do that. The Falls Prevention Committee, I run the Patient Experience Committee. I also do the Bereavement and Palliative Committee as well.
You do all that in your spare time while you're
not overseeing Yes, I do that during my lunch break mostly, actually.
I can't imagine what your day looks like. It has to vary a lot day to day between where you have issues or unexpected things come up and you have to deal with a lot of varied opportunities.
It is, especially with all the different departments. They all have something different going on. We try to keep, everybody has something education going on. Everybody has something, a new product or a new evidence-based practice we're bringing. And so it's basically just delegation, like she said, using my team I have a clinical coordinator for the inpatient side, and I have a clinical coordinator, I have a manager for my sleep lab.
And did you select those people, or did you inherit those people when you got this job?
One of them was hired by me. She actually used to be a nurse for me, and so she is phenomenal. Maria Gaw, I cannot say enough about her. She's an exceptional human being, and she has a real heart for people. And then the other one I luckily inherited because, sometimes it can go both ways. But Paula Applegate is exceptional, and she makes me look like a fool sometimes because I'm not too.
I don't believe that.
As I learned the Sleep Center, so she's exceptional.
I want to talk more about the Patient Experience Committee and also the Palliative Care Committee and that work. But before I do, I want to mention two other people who are also big fans of yours. And I know this because they told me so. Those are Teresa Shelton and Crystal Hawkins. And Teresa and Crystal both chaired our Notes for Nurses event this year at Cumberland. Also two wonderful ladies. And
Absolutely.
They couldn't have been more proud.
Who both work for Vanderbilt, Wilson County Hospital.
That's right. They do. They both work for Vanderbilt, Wilson County Hospital, our community hospital. And but they both just said so many nice things about you. So let's go back to the Patient Experience Committee. What does that involve? And who else is on that committee?
Yeah, no. So the Patient Experience Committee actually is a lot of the leadership at Vanderbilt Wilson. Everybody from our quality department to physicians to nursing to respiratory, every department leader is actually responsible for that. So I run that and facilitate that along with my co-chair, Laura Williams Markham, who is the Patient Experience Coordinator.
Okay.
So essentially what we do is we use our Prescati surveys and comments and stuff like that, and we hit highlights on what we can improve on. Our Patient Experience Committee is really us all coming together, sharing what we are seeing across the board, so that is there something that we can tweak? Is there something that, and we've had some phenomenal things that actually came out of that. One of them being the curtains that we had in the rooms, moving to the disposable new curtains versus the old curtains, that it came up as a highlight for us.
What was wrong with the old curtains?
It was just the older looking fabric, and so we changed them out for newer fabric.
And
so
the patients responded positively to that?
And so, so each department, we all have survey questions that are actually delivered to us.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. You all look at those survey results.
We do. We absolutely do. We not only do we look at them, but we share them with our staff members. And we have action plans that are specifically designed to, these are some of our areas of improvement or opportunities that we have. Mm-hmm. Let's have an action plan on that, and we actually present those at the Patient Experience Committee.
And how often does that committee meet?
Monthly.
Meets monthly, and you mentioned a lot of people. How many people total are on the committee?
I would say probably 60 to 70.
Really,
I would
60 to 70 people meet monthly, and
our people, all of our nursing leadership, and then our co-leaders like our clinical coordinators, they will come. But I mean, it's a lot of all of our directors. And even physicians are there.
And this is not unique to Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. This was an initiative that Vanderbilt University Medical Center has established throughout their clinical areas, and it's just proven. It's given our leadership intentional opportunity to really focus on the patient experience and to identify opportunities and make improvements. And we've really seen our patient satisfaction scores increase since we have been intentional with this.
I was going to ask about that because I know Scott McCarver has shared with me, the CEO of Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, has shared with me that really in virtually every metric, you all have really improved since Vanderbilt took over.
And he shared with you because you serve on our Vanderbilt Wilson County Auxiliary Board, and we appreciate your service on that board and just being an advocate for the hospital.
I'm happy to do it. It's a real privilege because it's just been so much fun for me to see the wonderful things that Vanderbilt has done since taking over that hospital. Mm-hmm. And really, we need that. Our community needs Vanderbilt and all the many services that you all offer in this community. But I'm delighted to hear that your patient satisfaction or patient experience scores have moved up.
They are exceptional, and I do have to just put a little plug that our two highest performers actually were my One West and my EMU unit. So I'm going to give a little plug for them. They work exceptionally hard to.
And do you have a goal for like what those scores should be? Is it on a scale of?
It is. So we do have metrics that have, our reach, our threshold, and target. And so ours actually going forward into the next fiscal year have actually significantly bumped up, because normally they'll bump up slightly, but because we had such marked improvement over the last year and two, they want to make it a bigger challenge for us, which is exceptional. We'll meet that challenge.
And so, Shelby, what's next for you? What are your next challenges? What do you want to do next in your career at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital?
I'll be honest with you. I love where I'm at. I love the people. I work with a phenomenal group, and I think that it's just to continue to grow, as a leader, as a person, and as a community member.
You're not going to let Vanderbilt steal you and take you downtown, though, are you?
Oh, no.
Okay, good.
Of course not. We are investing so much here in Wilson County. Our opportunity is just endless of what we could establish here. And I know we're running out of time, so let's highlight your wonderful unit that we have established, the palliative care end-of-life unit. If you want to touch on that a little bit before we wrap up today.
Absolutely. So our palliative unit, we opened about a year ago, actually. It's going exceptionally well. So we have our palliative side, which is for advanced symptom management. And then we have our GIP inpatient hospice patients that we see over there. And so we've really kind of designated that area and that space. All the rooms have been remodeled. There's private fridges. We've done everything possible to make sure that environment is comfortable and conducive to end-of-life care.
And what's a GIP?
Our inpatient hospice.
Okay.
General inpatient hospice.
Okay.
And so people that cannot have symptom management at home, we provide that service. But then our palliative area, we have so many different people that have, palliative conditions that qualify for palliative care. And so this is for that advanced symptom management. My nurses and techs actually have done extreme knowledge on how to use advanced techniques and evidence-based practice things to ensure that we're making sure the patient is comfortable, not sedated. You know, there's a difference, right? And so making sure that we have that, not only that, but we do a lot of special things. I'm sure you guys have seen on the news where one of my nurses became ordained to make the dying wish of one of our patients come true. And
you have a full-time chaplain at the hospital, too, do you?
We do. Cordell, he is phenomenal. And so we actually there's a team that actually cover as well. And so we've got a lot of new things. The palliative unit is growing. We do a 3 Wishes program with our patients. We also do, we're actually putting together a list of things. A lot of people like music. You know, music is, and it's evidence that it actually helps. So we've actually put together a list of people that can come and sing for our patients.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, what I've seen in units like yours is that our staff have the opportunity to engage in what they have passion about. And just like you said, you had a staff member become ordained. I mean, who does that? We had a patient. Their daughter was, the mother was about to pass away and their daughter was about to get married, and she just wanted to see her daughter get married. And they were able to do that on the unit, and then she passed away.
That is so wonderful. And I'm going to tell you, I bet you we could ask you 100 more stories just like that. Thank you for all you all do. We are sadly out of time, but Shelby Isbell, thank you so much. And Tracy Pope, thank you. And you'll be hosting tomorrow.
Well, you gave the secret out of the bag, so yes, I will be here.
Back to you, MJ.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. And it's all brought to you by Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $69.95, up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety checks. 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still working this truck wreck out here in Rutherford County right now. It's been a mess out here on 24 westbound at Humvee 231 Shelbyville Highway. Again, trying to clean this up, get things moving through here in this part of Rutherford County. Slowing down now, 65 south at Trinity Lane. It continues to build down I-40 westbound as you work your way out of the Wilson County area, especially the Lebanon area, starting to get heavy as well, headed towards Hermitage. When you need dependable towing for your car or truck, call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Together in faith and care. This is Sean Dozier at Harshside Senior Living. Since 1994, Harshside has been focused on its residents for the glory of God and the enjoyment and security of all its residents. This mission, expressed initially by Dr. Jimmy Morris, continues to guide us today. Located in the heart of Lebanon, our respected, locally owned, nonprofit assisted living community offers a warm and welcoming environment. Schedule your tour today. Contact us at 615-443-1994.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Where a patient starts their cancer care matters. And here, that means Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, Wilson County. It's Vanderbilt level care without making the drive to Nashville. From screening to diagnosis to treatment and recovery, patients can get all the care they need right here close to home. So now, having the best care team and most advanced treatment is closer than ever. Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, making cancer care personal.
We'll have periods of showers and thunderstorms for today. Some of that rainfall may be heavy. Afternoon highs in the mid-70s. Thunderstorms continue this evening, otherwise cloudy overnight, lows in the mid-60s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Storm Specialist Drew Richards.
And welcome back, everyone, and good morning. It's Paul Stum filling in for Coleman Walker, who's on special assignment today. And we have two wonderful guests, or one sponsor and then one guest for the second half of today. And no one who listens regularly to Coleman Walker will be surprised that our Our sponsor this morning is Mr. Sean Dozier. And Sean, welcome to you.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you, Dr. Stum. I appreciate you being here, filling in for Coleman. I know he appreciates it, but Tuesdays are always special. I get to come out here and see my friends, and I know you enjoy coming out here. You're a faithful listener like me. I listen every day, and
I do too. I love listening to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Everybody, Sean, you and I think when I first met you was through Leadership Wilson. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And when I don't remember meeting you before that, but that was a long time ago. About 20 years ago.
That was, I think, 2022, wasn't it?
2024?
No, I think
it was 2004 or 2002. 2004, I think.
I think you're probably right. But anyway,
21 years ago.
That was a long time ago. I was at the.
You were at the Super Speedway.
Super Speedway, and we had Lucy Lee was our leader back then, and we had a good time. But you used to come out to the racetrack, and I don't know if you were a race fan back then, but you enjoyed being out there. You enjoyed being out there.
It is. It's the highest place, I think, in Wilson County, right? The top of that.
Great views. Great views.
And it's fun to watch those cars go. Truthfully, I just like being out there with you and all the people.
Oh, yeah. Well, honestly, I wasn't a race fanatic when I got the job. It was more of a marketing, PR type gig, But I learned to appreciate what those drivers go through, because it was they're tremendous athletes. They really are. Which I know that's not what we're here to talk about, but
we're here to talk about horse side. But before we do, I have to ask you this, because I have to mention this, because Sean knows this, but for anybody else who's listening, his wife Rebecca, who is a teacher at Coles Ferry Elementary, is just you did the same thing I did, Sean. You married up.
I did. I definitely married up. Yep.
You married up, but your wife. I have 8 grandchildren, and my oldest grandchild had your wife as her teacher at Coles Ferry, and she loved Miss Rebecca. I mean, my granddaughter, and I'll never forget, we were out at Five Oaks Country Club eating out on the patio one day, and my granddaughter was looking really nervous, and she was looking at this group of ladies that were sitting at a table about 2 tables away from us. And I said, Kylie, what is wrong? And she said, nothing, Papo, nothing. I said, what are you looking at that group? She said, Papo, that's my teacher, Miss Rebecca. She's over there, and I want to go say hi to her, but I'm scared. So she went over and talked, and your wife couldn't have been nicer, and she was a great teacher.
Well, she loves teaching. She taught 4th grade for many, many years at Coles Ferry. Now she's a reading specialist at Coles Ferry. Oh. She enjoys that, but she loves those 4th graders, and she's been there many, many years. I appreciate you saying that. She's in Florida this week. She is on she's on fall break, so she's enjoying that. I'm here, working. She's enjoying life. But
well, tell us what's going on at Horse-Side.
Well, real quickly, I was thinking driving over here, the silver tsunami, the graying of America. You hear those terms. It is here. I'm telling you, we are getting more calls. We are getting more tours, more people seeking out information on our website. Today I'm speaking to a group at Colonial Village, to a group of seniors wanting just to know more about options that they might have going forward. So it's here. We're all getting older. We're all needing options like independent living. Some need assisted living. Some need memory care. Some need nursing home care. So there's a lot of options out there. Nobody likes to think about it, but as we do get older, and America is getting older, Wilson County is getting older, and so we're slammed with a lot of people seeking out information, particularly when it comes to assisted living and independent living. We have independent living homes at Horse-Side. We have 30 beautiful homes, 2 and 3 bedroom homes, all one level. We like to say when you move in there, it's maintenance-free living. You don't have to worry about the inside or outside. We change light bulbs, filters. Basically anything in the house we take. You
don't have to do anything.
You don't do anything. You leave it and you go on vacation. So a lot of people are on that list. And then also our assisted living, which has been a staple in our community since 1994. And, Dr. Stum, the assisted living, the wait list is growing for that too, because people are needing just a little more assistance. People are living longer at home. And then they realize, I'm not taking my medication timely. I'm not eating correctly. Yeah. I'm not getting the socialization. And so a lot of folks are seeking out assisted living where they get those routine types of things and where they feel better. When they move into assisted living, they feel better. Their attitude changes. They have a positive attitude. They're active. And so a lot of folks are seeking that out. And when I say, the graying of America, the silver tsunami, it really is. People are getting older, and not that we need more competition at Horse-Side, but we could use more rooms, we could use more houses because there are a lot of people seeking out those spaces.
And I love the story you tell about how when many people first move in, they don't want to be there. They're unhappy. They don't think they want to be there, but you say give them a week.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. We had a lady move in last week that she tell you what, she didn't want to be there, Dr. Stubbs. She did not want to be there. Her daughters knew that she didn't want to be there. They felt guilty about the decision, but now she's doing great.
She loves it.
She's doing great. Yeah. She's got those friends. She's got those activities she's going to. So. It usually works out just fine.
And those 30 homes, they're all full.
They're all full, and I've got a wait list for that. And now I'm giving people option B and C and D because I don't want people to think, hey, I'm going to move in the next year or so, because it is a several-year process to move into Harside.
Have you got any space to build any more, or are you done?
We got some space to build on to the assisted living, which we're looking at, and maybe add some independent apartments or more assisted living rooms. We're trying to make that decision right now.
By the way, I saw a really interesting statistic, or not statistic, but data point the other day that said that there will never be more people on the earth older than you than the day you're born.
That is interesting.
I mean, it's obvious, but I just hadn't thought about it that way.
As you get older, I've noticed now that the weather folks on TV look
old.
No, they look young. They look young.
Everybody looks
young. I was like, what's happening here?
What's happening? Young, Sean.
Well, I appreciate that. But
have you got a Hearthside hello today?
I want to your friend and my friend Jenny Bennett. She spoke at Kiwanis yesterday. Not only does she do great work for Cumberland, but she's the new Kiwanis president, and she gave her state of the year coming up, and she did a great job. So Jenny Bennett is my Hearthside hello.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love JB. I call her JB.
Yes, she's great. Good. She's great.
Well, thank you, Sean. Thanks for all you do in our community.
Good to see you.
See my fellow Leadership Wilson classmate.
Best class of, what do we say, best class?
Best class ever.
Best class ever, yeah.
Say hello to your wonderful bride for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to now shift gears to our primary guest for the second half of this morning on Coleman and Company. And we have Mr. Jeff Luttrell, whom everybody knows. He really needs no introduction. He looks like, did you get a haircut recently? Your hair's looking good.
I'm not. In fact, I think I need a haircut.
Do you? Well, maybe it just looks different to me. Maybe that's why. It looks it looks different. I thought maybe you got it wet on the way in the rain. But Jeff Luttrell, by the way, soon to be Dr. Jeff Luttrell. He's working on his doctoral degree, and you're going to be finishing that up when?
I'm hoping to finish up this spring. We're starting the process in the last stage, so hopefully I'll be finished this spring.
That's a great accomplishment. I'm very proud of you. Dr. Donna Wright, I'm sure, is proud of you, the one from whom you took the baton. How many years ago was it now that you took that baton?
5 years.
5 years. Okay, so we're expecting at least another 15. Have you got that in you?
I don't know about that. We'll see.
Well, I want to talk to you a little bit about anything you want to share, but I have a few particular questions about kind of how you're doing on staffing, in particular as you start up the new school year. I mean, you're more than started up now; you're already on fall break. But how are you doing on staffing?
Well, Dr. Stone, we're better in staffing than we've been in several years. Last time I checked, it's been a couple of weeks ago, we were below 20 certified open positions. To put that in context, a year ago we started school year being down 100 teachers.
Wow.
So we've really seen a step forward in applicants. We still have applicants coming in. Really our highest need now is in our special education department, finding certified teachers for that. In our classify, we're in pretty good shape everywhere, except in our bus driving. That seems to be an area we've yet to be able to get enough drivers. But on a good note, positive note, we had a couple tests last week. Candidates, they'll be on the road after fall break, and got some more testing, I think, today, 2 or 3 more.
So you, in addition to earning a CDL, which they have to have, you have to do testing before you'll hire a driver?
You do, and that process can take anywhere 6 to 8 weeks. For anybody interested,
really?
Yes, we do hire, or we will go ahead and hire you. We will train you to get your CDLs, to get you through that process. And so we feel like what our data points are telling us is that we've got a chance here in a few weeks to hopefully have enough initial positions so that we have every route covered, and that'll be a big step forward.
How many total routes do you have? Do you know the answer to that? You used to be over the bus drivers, did you not? Didn't you have that when you were in the central office?
Yeah, I was in HR, and I was not the transportation director, but that was my area. Since we run double routing, we're running probably close to 300 routes a day. Then you have midday routes, so over 180 some drivers. What we need,
180 drivers. That's astounding to me. Of course, you've got how many total students now in the Wilson County school system?
Right at 21,000. We're 20,850, and still we are still adding students. But we look forward to hopefully getting that leveled out with our bus drivers.
What do you do if you have a student come? I mean, I guess you have, if they come in the middle of the year, they can come and transfer in. Say a parent, they moves from California. We got a lot of people moving here from California. Do you take those students?
We do. That's no problem. We bring them right in and bring them right into Wilson County schools.
And how often does that actually happen? Does it happen every week or every month?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day we have students enrolling, and we have students also disenrolling. So our registrars, it's a title, everybody thinks we're just a record keeper. They're dealing with a lot. Their workload is tremendous at the school level just on a day-to-day basis.
It's amazing how many balls you have to keep in the air. I know you have 5 high schools in the county. And I know all those principals, all good people. Did you put all those people in place, or did you inherit some of those when you got this job 5 years ago?
I did not. In fact, I guess I've only hired one.
Okay, one of the 5. You've got a great group of principals. I know those folks best. But how many middle schools and how many elementary schools and how many?
Well, we're 26 total. Don't put me on the spot here. We're 26 total in our schools, and plus we also run a virtual school. And our alternative program, that's all under BTA. So, but they have their own school numbers. So we're growing. We just added, of course, Lagardo Elementary, Central Pike Elementary will be up and running next school year. So continuing to add schools.
So will that be 27 next year?
26, 27. We plan on opening August 1.
Of 26?
26.
But that'll be your 27th school, I mean.
That'll be 26, I guess.
26 next. Okay, I got you. Okay. Still, that's amazing. Well, MJ's giving me the signal. I'm not paying attention, but it's time to go to a break. MJ?
Thanks, Paul. We appreciate it. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota. High performance, high horsepower, 0% financing is still a thing. Now's the best time to save on new Kubota L-Series tractors, rated #1 for durability and owner experience in the U.S. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still trying to fill out paperwork and clean up this mess out here in Rutherford County this morning. It all started with a truck crash. They are on 24 westbound at 231 Shelbyville Highway. It's just had traffic a mess trying to get past Joby Jackson in the last 30-45 minutes. Just been creeping down through here in Rutherford County on 24 westbound as you come past Joby Jackson up towards 231. Heavy now 65 southbound here at Trinity Lane. Stein Dental Care in Nashville. Over 350 5-star wonderful Google reviews. Call them today at Stein Dental Care in Nashville. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Cedar City RV, your destination for all things camping. Whether you're looking for travel trailers, fifth wheels, or anything in between, Cedar City RV has you covered. We proudly offer top brands like Forest River, Palomino, Rockwood, Coachman, and more. Plus, expert service after the sale to keep you on the road with confidence. Financing is available, making it easier than ever to start your next adventure. Visit us online at cedarcityrv.com or stop by our location at 1102 Sparta Pike in Lebanon to explore new and previously enjoyed models today.
Your Lebanon High football team is back on the field, and we're back in the booth. Join Donald Gann, Joe Gardner, and myself, John Boyce, as the Blue Devils hit the gridiron each week. Lebanon football is brought to you by Bates Ford, Birdine Supply, Fakes and Hooker, Kay Maynard with State Farm Insurance, Kenny Salas and the Salas Realty Group, Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan, Shannon Speck Electric, Sports World, Rackley Roofing Company, Wilson Bank and Trust, and Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell. Next game for the Blue Devils will be October 17th against Green Hill.
And welcome back to Coleman and Company. I am Paul Stum, filling in for Coleman Walker today, who's on special assignment. And our guest today is Mr. Jeff Luttrell. And I have known Mr. Luttrell for a number of years, even before he got the job as director or superintendent. I still want to call it superintendent, but y'all call it director of schools now, right?
Right.
Yeah, it used to be superintendent.
It used to be superintendent.
But, Mr. Luttrell, I want to begin by asking you, because I think it's very important where superintendents or directors of school go for their college education. Where did you go for your college education?
Well, I got my bachelor's at Cumberland University.
Oh, at Cumberland. Oh, okay.
And that's how I ended up here. And then I went to Tech and got a master's. Then I completed an EDS at Tech too. So.
And you're doing your doctoral work
at Liberty University.
At Liberty University.
Online program.
Which is magnificent. I can't wait to call you Dr. Luttrell. I really can't. And that'll be just in a few months. If you didn't hear that earlier, Mr. Luttrell shared he's finishing up his doctoral degree at Liberty, and we'll have that distinction here by the end of this academic year, we hope. That I will tell you that when I was working on my doctorate, I did it at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and we were on the quarter system back then, but every quarter they had a form you had to fill out by hand on paper, and it said, do you intend to graduate this quarter? I checked that box like 4 times because I thought I was going to graduate. It took me a little extra time.
It's a process, as you understand, and I hope I can get through it this school year.
Well, we wish you the best in that, and I'm awful proud of you as a Cumberland alum. I really am. But you came to Cumberland. I remember hearing the story. Your mama wanted you to come because she met Coach Hunt, as I recall.
I was transferring, leaving Lindsey Wilson because I wanted a secondary education, and Lindsey Wilson did not have that at the time, and that was my hometown. So
up in Kentucky.
Hey, that's right. So I was going to Bowling Green. I'd already committed to Western Kentucky to come down there and finish up and play baseball. And Coach Hunt had heard that I was transferring. He had connections and got somebody to me and said, at least give him a call. So I gave him a call, and we came down and visited. And we
came down with your mama?
Yep. So I brought her with me, and we got to the crossroads out there on 141. And she looked at me and said, I've always got you to ball games, practices. You know, that's a big deal, and you play sports. And she said, I've always supported you. But she said, I don't know what you've told them in Western Kentucky, but you're going to have to make a phone call because you're going to go play for that guy right there. And so
I love it.
Mama won.
We always pay attention to our mamas, and I'm glad you did to yours. Yeah,
that's right.
We're awful glad you came to Cumberland. I want to talk for just a minute about growth projections and what you're forecasting and how many more schools and more teachers and more of everything you're going to need in the ensuing years. Are you projecting continued growth like you've had over the last decade or so?
We are. We operate, and we'll start the process of registering students, believe it or not, January. Our high schools start plotting out their next school year. Mm-hmm. And but based on projections, I think you can safely say we're looking at 300 to 500 students. That's what we've been the last 7 or 8 years. So,
now, what do you mean by 300 to 500?
New students.
New students every year?
Yep, every year.
300 to 500 new students every year. That's astounding.
It is, and we had some years that we were 800-900. So, and the way we do it, we work with our planning department, both Mount Juliet, City of Lebanon, Wilson County, and we're looking at those new developments as they come online. Mm-hmm. And we figure basically for if a subdivision comes in, we're looking at 1.5 students on average
per household.
Per household, that's what we figure. Yeah. That's a little bit high, but you have to plan for that. You have to plan for that.
Yeah.
So we are always plotting that, looking at that monthly.
Who does that for you? Who do you have on your staff that worries about that?
It's Travis Mayfield. He's deputy director of operations. And that's in his area.
Who used to be the principal
Wilson Central.
Out of Wilson Central.
Former,
yeah.
That's right.
So lives right down the street from us at Cumberland University. I love Travis.
So that's one of the areas he's always watching. We work with our architects, and we do numbers, hard numbers in the fall, look at our building capacities, and so...
And you still have a little capacity in some of the schools, like that beautiful new school in Watertown, right?
We do, yeah, but that one's filling up.
Is it?
It's and what we operate off of, and this is getting into zoning, which our last board meeting, we just changed some zones to open up Central Pike. So what we do is we're looking at we have open zoning in our county if it's less than 90% capacity, where a parent can go wherever they want in the county if they
transport them themselves.
If they transport them themselves, as long as that gets to 90%. So really, when you start getting schools at 90%, you better start projecting another school. And we're not completely finished with that list for this fall. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be done with that. And looking at what does the future hold? Is it another middle school? Is it another elementary school?
Do you have some K-8 schools?
We do. We still operate some K-8s. We have 3 K-8 schools, and we just got to watch it all. And we drill it all the way down to even class sizes to see at grade level bands. So it's just this growth is a real thing. I think all of us are dealing with it, and I do not see it slowing down.
You have one particular special connection, as I recall, out at Watertown High School. Do you want to? Is your daughter still teaching out there?
She is.
Okay.
Yep, she is. Her and my son-in-law both. They teach and coach.
And she's a coach, and is he a coach as well?
He is.
Tell me about your daughter and son-in-law out there.
Well, just she's a Coleman grad as well. Went into the business world, and with me encouraging her to do that, and then came in a couple of years into her career and said, I'm quitting my job, and I never will forget. I thought, what do you mean? You're getting ready to get married? You're quitting your job? And she said, yes, I've taken a job at Watertown High School, and I guess it's in her blood. She grew up in a school.
So she took a job out there without even telling you about it?
She did.
That's kind of cool. I know you didn't have to help her. She's the most capable young lady.
And she teaches business and coaches girls basketball, and he's her assistant, and he also is assistant. He is her assistant coach, and they had a really good year last year, and so it's from her first days in school, she'd get off the bus, be with me till I took her home, and so she kind of grew up in it. She did, and teaching is a calling, and more difficult now, I think, than it was when I started. But I'm proud of her and proud of all of our teachers. We got a lot of group of young people that are coming back into the profession that want to contribute to their community.
I think that's wonderful. I'm so glad that you get to work with your daughter, at least to a certain extent. And I know she's, she didn't report directly to you, but still, that's really neat that you had that influence on her, and she's now teaching and impacting young students. I want to talk for just a minute about something that I want to thank you for, and that is the opportunity to do dual enrollment in your schools. We have dual enrollment in all 5 of the county high schools, but most especially out at Green Hill High School with Mr. Kevin Dawson, and where we do early college, which is a unique program there at that school, where we have all of the junior and senior year is totally dual enrollment. Those students sign up, and we have a cohort out there. They've devoted a wing of the building to this, and we have a number of students who will finish they'll get their high school diploma simultaneous with their associate degree from college at Cumberland University, and that's a really neat thing.
It is, and when you look at education, public education, the history, it always changes, and this has been, I guess it started 10 or 12 years ago, a real push you started seeing. And it helps a lot of things. Of course, it helps us on teachers. If you're providing an English teacher and a history teacher and a math teacher. But the big thing is it gives such an opportunity for students to go ahead and get their foundation, get started. I've not looked at in a few years. When I was running a high school, one of the things I really looked at was the research that was showing that a first-generation college enrollee had such a higher percentage of being successful if they came in with college hours already.
Out of high school.
That's right. And a lot of people don't think, well, we don't have very many first generations. Yes, we do. And so, and then to see students that last 2 years, if they can come to high school, get their credits, and those turn into their college credits, it just sets them up for success, major financial success in the future, because they're going to walk into school, their college, wherever they go, with a lot of their
and they
hours.
can do it at no cost. The state pays for it. They can do it at essentially no cost.
It's very minimum.
Very minimal. Yeah. Well, we're delighted to have that opportunity to work with the Wilson County schools, high schools, and do that. Thank you for giving us that opportunity. We only have a couple minutes left, but I want to talk to you about your school board. How many members are on your school? I've been to those meetings. I don't remember how.
Our school board has 7 members, and they.
You all meet monthly.
We meet twice monthly.
Twice monthly.
We moved it to two times a month. We've gotten so big, and I think that's helped us do our business a little more efficiently. But those are people in the community that are dedicated to public education. They're dedicated to their community and their constituents, and excellent group of people to work with, and a crucial part of what we do on a daily basis.
And they're elected officials. And how many of what's the length of their terms? They serve for 3 years.
They serve 4-year terms, and it's divided up. I think there'll be three or 4 seats up next year. That, of course, I guess will be primary in May, but a thankless job because of just the what they do and the amount of time they put into it. But very proud of our school board and excited to work with them.
Well, Jeff, we've come to the end of our time, but I want to thank you for what you do to educate our students in Wilson County. It's amazing to me how many students are continuing to come. I saw Mayor Bell said that Lebanon, Tennessee, I think was the 12th fastest growing city in the United States last year. And so you're picking up a lot of students from that growth, but really all over the county. But thank you, and we appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Stone.
That's going to do it for a Tuesday. Come back tomorrow for Coleman and Company, WANT FM 98.9.